Today, in week 2 of the Lenten campaign, last week we were praying for the family, and we said family is a complementation, not a competition. We said that family is where your weakness meets my perfection and your perfection meets my weakness. Therefore, my weakness, my lack of something makes you relevant in my life. In this week, we are called to pray and contemplate about corruption. In week 2, we have a story about Tikiti. And Tikiti was a respected village elder within Parachichi constituency. He was a man of the people who helped his community in community development projects. He held various leadership positions in the community and the church. During the general elections, he vied for Member of Parliament and made myriad promises on how he would uplift the lives and welfare of his constituency. People unanimously elected him because of the trust. A few months after the election, Tikitis started showing arrogance, irritability, and impatience towards the constituents. He stopped participating in community activities, diverted community resources to personal use, acquired a fleet of vehicles, and moved his family to the city. He influenced the appointment of his eldest son, Wadojo, as head of the local development funds procurement committee. Wadojo used the opportunity to misappropriate funds meant for bursaries and the construction of roads, schools, and hospitals. He acquired land in a leafy city suburb and built several apartments. Tikiti chaired the Parliamentary Budget Committee, which proposed punitive taxes that would raise the cost of living. The team also introduced new levies that would promote the extravagant and wasteful lifestyle of MPs. The committee invited views from the public over the proposed taxation measures, which were unfortunately ignored, and the budget passed without any amendments. The people of Parachichi petitioned the Anti-Corruption Office to investigate the misuse of the constituency funds and moved to recall their MP. Tikiti and his son were convicted and jailed for economic crimes. The state froze their accounts and confiscated their properties. That story reflects Kenya, but the last part meets our title, The Kenya We Desire. We're not yet there. Corruption is actually something that is today inherent in most of us. And we have been made to believe that nothing can move without corruption. Why would I bribe a policeman or a policewoman? Why would a policewoman or a policeman take bribe? It's because our systems have failed. And if they themselves go to court there will be back and forth over something that should have been fined or let go. And therefore, we have put in bureaucracies that actually father and mother corruption. Corruption has permeated even in the churches. That misappropriation of money by a pastor, a priest, a bishop has become the order of the day, and it's something that we all say, wachana nae, Mungu. We have been cheated. It's true, God will take care of us. But dishonesty, we have to stand against. When the Gen Zs went on strike, they said high taxes. And nobody has a problem with paying tax. The problem is the corruption within the government, that when our taxes are collected, we no longer see what they do. We have been moved by corruption, and this corruption have actually come to not being corrupted with money, but they have corrupted our minds. We have been corrupted in mind that we are waiting in Kenya to have somebody to come and tell us, I'm vying for the presidency. Well, we ourselves, if we are liberated enough, because corruption is slavery, if we are liberated enough, we will raise our own, fundraise for him, and tell him, we want you to lead us. Because in the kind of democracy we have a Leviathan who we give our power. So we as a people must be liberated. We must refuse even those who are in the bursary committee, those who are in the CDF committee. You should refuse to take money meant for the poor people. You sit in that committee, and yet you take that money when you don't deserve it, and it is deserving for another poor people. You are corrupt. If you are a priest, I thank the bishops who have returned the money to the government officials, who have offered them, even some publicly, and we really applaud you. It seems just nothing, but it is. How would we accept millions of money in the church, and yet in the neighborhood there are children who don't go to school? Why would we come to build a church when those who should come to church are sick and cannot pay bills in the hospital? It is corruption, not only through money and bribery, but corruption of the mind and the heart. When we talk about corruption, corruption is the last thing in annihilating something totally. If I want to corrupt Tiba, I will ban it. And when you ban Tiba, you have corrupted it. Corruption is finishing something completely, or completely finishing something. When you burn Tiba, you get ashes. Ashes can never become Tiba again. That is what corruption will do to us as a people. It will annihilate us. It will annihilate our country. And we will do a damage that we cannot repair. That's what the fathers of the church are calling. That's what the bishops are saying. Let us not be corrupt. We are going to annihilate ourselves totally and completely. Let us fight corruption. And this I go to Gen Zs as I finish. When we went to the streets, we were fighting corruption. What if today, every person, every Gen Z, every millennial, wherever you are working, if we say today, I will never be corrupt, the other Gen Z and the millennial says, I will not be corrupt. The member of parliament will not corrupt me. My boss in office will not corrupt me. If we all refuse, they will sack the first person, They will sack the rest. And when we all refuse, they'll see that they have to join. Because if you can't beat them, join them. But if we fight corruption and yet we are the one helping corruption, because that member of parliament, that boss of yours will use your prowess to steal money. He will use you as a young person to do the maths. Why are we corrupt? We are going to annihilate ourselves. We are going to corrupt ourselves and corrupt our nation totally. Let us fight this thing. And it comes from honesty. Let us be honest with what we do. And honesty doesn't hurt forever. Let us be contented. I wish we were not corrupt. Even those getting little salary, if the taxes were not corrupted, they would go to hospital. They'll not need money for the hospital. The children will go to school. Let us stop corruption. Together, let us fight corruption. May God bless you and have a wonderful week as you fast from corruption. God bless you.